Something dramatic is happening across Germany right now. Wealthy Germans are quietly packing their bags, securing second passports, and establishing residencies in countries their grandparents would never have considered. This isn't just speculation or fear-mongering. There is a real, measurable trend of high-net-worth Germans leaving both Germany and the European Union, and it's accelerating at a pace few could have predicted. Welcome back to the Liberty Mundo channel, where we help high-net-worth individuals protect their assets, secure multiple citizenships, and legally minimize taxes. Visit www.libertymundo.com and get in touch for personalized strategies. Germans are seeing economic clouds gathering and social changes that make the future of Europe seem uncertain, and they're taking action now, while their options are still open and their assets remain free to move. The numbers don't lie. In recent years, more than 1 million individuals from places like Syria, Afghanistan, and Turkey have received German citizenship with the same rights as those born in Germany. No future policy can change their legal status. There's a sense of hypocrisy, and for many, this has become deeply unsettling. Crime statistics in Germany's major cities keep reaching new highs. What was once familiar now feels unrecognizable to many lifelong residents. This isn't about fear of outsiders. It's a pragmatic analysis of risk. People simply don't want to wait for matters to spiral further. Poland has already resumed border checks with Germany, a direct blow to the once sacred Schengen area. Other Eastern European countries are watching and preparing. The decades-old idea of free movement across Europe is under real threat as instability rises. German millionaires, reading these signals, aren't waiting for the EU experiment to collapse. They're quietly moving themselves, their wealth, and their families while they still can. Another major concern is digital surveillance. With the EU's so-called chat control proposals, there's a real possibility that all digital communications could soon be automatically scanned and monitored, from WhatsApp to Signal. The justification is always protecting children, but many Germans, especially those with memories of the old Stasi police state, recognize state overreach when they see it. They realize that the digital privacy apocalypse is not a dystopian fantasy, but a bureaucratic reality creeping ever closer. The UK's Online Safety Act already mandates age verification through passports or even facial recognition, and there are rumblings that VPN bans and website blocking could be next in some EU countries. For those who value privacy and freedom, the writing is on the wall. On the financial side, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are being introduced with alarming speed. They promise every transaction to be tracked, every purchase recorded, and financial behavior nudged or even limited by the state. Imagine a world where your digital bank account can be frozen for exceeding your carbon limit or buying the wrong foods. This isn't science fiction. The financial tools to make this level of control possible are being developed right now. More and more Germans are opening hardware wallets for crypto, opening bank accounts in distant jurisdictions, and acquiring alternative financial identities through secondary residencies and citizenships. This brings us to citizenship shopping, which has exploded with recent changes to German law. Dual citizenship is now freely allowed for Germans, and Caribbean programs such as St. Kitts, Dominica, and Antigua are seeing a surge of German applicants. Serbia has emerged as another favorite. Just a generation ago, Serbians lined up to get German passports, and now the flow is reversing as Germans seek a plan B. Even Turkey, long viewed as a source of migration to Germany, now sees German millionaires seeking Turkish citizenship for diversification, mobility, and new business opportunities. Paraguay has had German-speaking communities for decades, and is now experiencing a new wave of German arrivals. Argentina is preparing to open its doors to wealthy Europeans, offering European lifestyle and culture, but without the surveillance and digital controls. Panama and Costa Rica are also proving popular, where the infrastructure isn't quite like Hamburg or Munich, but where the freedom, cost of living, and lifestyle are hard to beat. Dubai, though, still stands apart for many German high-net-worth individuals. The appeal is obvious. Zero income tax is just the headline. The real story is the thriving business scene, safety, world-class private schools, reliable legal protection, and a service culture that puts most of Europe to shame. Some Germans look closer to home. Poland, Hungary, and Slovakia offer lower taxes, more conservative social values, and fewer overbearing regulations from Brussels. But the shadow of the war in Ukraine looms over Eastern Europe, making these jurisdictions, for now, stepping stones rather than final destinations. Farther afield, places like Thailand and Malaysia offer high-quality, affordable lifestyles and welcoming expat communities for Germans of every age. Singapore's financial sector continues to attract Germany's most affluent, but of course entry is limited to only the very wealthy. These destinations all share an important advantage. They stand worlds apart from Europe's current political and social chaos, and welcome Germans with open arms. For German millionaires, reorganizing their banking is now a top priority. Switzerland, once the default choice, is losing its appeal because of greater cooperation with EU authorities. Singapore, the UAE, and even Serbia are increasingly attractive for those wanting to keep their finances out of the EU's reach. All of these trends point in the same direction. The mass migration of German wealth isn't just about minimizing taxes or protecting privacy. It's about a fundamental loss of faith in the future of Germany and the European project. These aren't extremists. They're successful professionals, builders, and creators who made their fortunes within the system. This isn't just a temporary spike or panic response. It's a real structural shift. Each German family that leaves and succeeds abroad inspires 10 more to follow. Each new law from Brussels, each tax hike, each new regulation only accelerates the exodus. The government may try to label these departures as unpatriotic or to block capital from leaving. But history shows capital is like water. It finds its way around every barrier. Germany is losing not just money, but talent, entrepreneurship, entire business networks, and the economic contributions of future generations. What's left behind is an economy that relies more on those who take than those who create, run by those who regulate instead of those who innovate. If you want to reduce your taxes to single digits, make your assets impossible for anyone to touch, and gain more freedom with second citizenships, get in touch with Liberty Mundo and book a consultation call. We will help you develop a complete blueprint to organize your life to safeguard your wealth and your freedom. Follow the link in the description for more details. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.